Go ahead.
What?
I'm predicting that after this crisis is over, that there's going to still be people that refuse to socialize because they realize how dangerous it is, and they're going to not go to restaurants anymore. I just think there's going to be still some changes that will remain permanent in our society. What do you think?
I think it's a good guess.
It'll be sad, but I bet you restaurants are going to see at least a 10% drop from before the crisis started. Especially the older people say, it's that dangerous. What if another one comes out? I'm just not going out to restaurants as nearly as often as I did before. Maybe that's a business opportunity for those people that are doing the delivery, the Dine Dash, what do they call it? Delivery. Yeah, I think those businesses are going to make it big.
That's good.
So praying that'll happen soon. Well, let's see here. I'm looking at school. We're going to have to pray twice today. No, we prayed at the end last time, so we're good. We're good. But today, let's see. It would be Zach's turn. If you'd like, Zach, would you like to pray?
I don't know if he's here.
I didn't see a participants list here.
Oh, he's here.
Yeah, I see him there.
He's
You just unmute
He's here.
yourself. Want to unmute and pray, Zach? You can if you like. Your choice.
He left. Emmanuel, stop.
Scared him away. Oh, he's back.
Emmanuel.
What's up, Shane?
Would you like to pray, Zach? Or hand it off to Emmanuel? You're going to have to unmute yourself. Not hearing anything.
What's up, man?
Let's go, Boomer.
What's up, dog?
He's there.
He might have some.
He's muting his mic.
Technical difficulty. Emmanuel, let's see your face.
You do.
If I stop presenting, I'll stop presenting for a second. Emmanuel, would you like to pray, Emmanuel?
Yeah.
We all we see is a circle E. That's fine.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to show us his face.
We can pray.
He's laying in bed.
No, not. Is it my turn then?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Dear God, thank you for this day. Thank you that we can still attend class, and I pray that we get our stuff done today, whatever we have to do. And I pray that we learn and apply it for our job sometime later in the future. And I pray for everyone who's not feeling well. I pray that they get well, and I pray that this virus may not last as long as the miracles doctors are predicting. I pray that this class goes well in Jesus. Amen.
Amen. And I hope you're staying in contact with your local church, getting online whenever you can, encouraging people there. Be a light, even online. Well, we got a little work to catch up on. As I was reviewing our plan here, if we look at the plan schedule here, I realize we're kind of compressing it, and we want to be done with Excel, actually in Excel 2 today. So let's see how we can do. I think we can do it because we're almost done with Excel 1. We'll get started with Excel 2, and we'll see how far we can go. I might throw something out if we can't keep up because those are the 3 main projects. But let's see how we can do today. Finishing up Excel 1 and completing Excel, or getting started on Excel 2. So let's see. Do I have a forum here? I might have a forum you're welcome to contribute to. Otherwise, there is a survey coming out, just seeing how things are going. I believe Dean Beatty is sending one out. You should see that in your email. Other than that, hope things are well, and find this educational and hopefully even a little bit interesting and fun.
Will there be
All
an
right.
option for very disgruntled?
What's that?
Will there be an option for very disgruntled on the survey?
Yes, I think so. Yep. I didn't see the whole survey. For some reason, the survey was bouncing back. I think it's because they were trying to distribute it to 200 all at once, and Gmail thought it was spam or something. So here's what we have so far in our budget table. And what we want to do now is get a chart to go with our data. Charts are so lovely. They make you look smart, and they're so easy to do. Let me grab my textbook here. My textbook is on one of my pages. And we'll finish with that. Let's see, where did my textbook go? There's my textbook. Okay, what we want to do is create a pie chart having to do with these numbers that we have charted. Now, do you think we want to chart the entire every number there and put it in a chart? No, we wouldn't want to do that. We only want to create a pie chart of the important numbers that show comparisons between values.
Are you presenting? We can't. We can't see your screen right now.
Sorry, you're just looking at me, aren't you? I forgot to start that presentation. Here, I'm going back to the right page, and I'll present that. Let me go back to my Google Hangout page. Now I got to find that. There it is. Okay. Yeah, recording me, just looking at the camera. Actually, we're recording E, right? You're seeing E. All right, here we go. Now we're reporting the screen. Here we go. Okay, so here's the Excel sheet that we want to make a pie chart to represent the data here. Now, what, from your perspective here, what would be the meaningful data to put in a pie chart comparing the information? Would it be just January's numbers?
It'd be the totals.
Yeah,
for
it
every
would be
month.
totals. So we have the choice. Do we want to give a pie chart of the totals for each month and compare months? Or, and that would be the net, or we could compare the net for each month, or the total of the category listed by category. So that's what we want to create a pie chart of. The expenses listed and the total of the expenses over here. So these numbers, we want to be the size of the pie chart. And notice we do not want the total of everything as part of our pie, because that would be double the pie. We only want to total these pieces of the pie. And we want to have these be the notes or the title of that slice of the pie. So in order to make this pie chart, we have to tell Excel what pieces we want to chart. These are going to be the titles of the slices, and these are going to be the size of the slices. Since they are not connected, we have to select through the titles of the row first, not the total, and then control select through the same number of rows.
What if you can't do control select?
Yeah, that control select. That's what I did. Yeah. So
what if you can't do it?
You can't do it. Oh man. You're in Office 365. Well, we'll have to figure that out, I guess. Here's what you can do in Office 365. If you have to make a copy of those numbers, or actually, better yet, make a copy of the expenses and place them over here in these rows, and then see if it'll let you select the double rows and then pie chart them. Yeah, we're going to have to deal with differences there. I didn't realize they'd be different there. So select, control select. You might try other selection. I don't know if there's any other selection. Would that alt? I don't know, alt select, if that would work under Office 365. In Excel, though, once I have them both selected, now all I do, I'm going to double click on my ribbon so I see my ribbon. Over here on the ribbon, on the Insert tab, not the Home tab, the Insert tab, we have over here all sorts of charts. And there's recommended charts, or I can know, if I know I want to do a pie chart, I can click on the pie chart and select the pie chart right there. And click. I love 3D charts better, but we'll start with the plain 2D pie chart. Now, by default, it's throwing it right over my data. I don't really like that. I want that to go somewhere else. So I can right-click, move chart, right-click, move chart to move it to a new worksheet. So I right-click in the white area, move chart, and choose a new sheet, and might as well give it a good name. I'll call it expenses pie chart. Or actually, no, we're calling it monthly expenses. Sorry, monthly expenses. That will become the name of the extra sheet that it's going to create when I click OK now. This will disappear from this page. It will become a pie chart on a new worksheet called monthly expenses. I can move my sheets around if I want one to be first or second, drag them left and right. And now I can adjust my pie chart. Everyone with me? Scream if you aren't that far, because this does get a little complicated. Sometimes if you don't have just the right thing selected, things will break.
Yeah, so my titles won't pop up.
And you're in Office 365, correct?
Yeah, and I tried to do the copy paste right next to it, but that still won't work.
All right, let's see if we can get this working. If you're in Excel, add a title to this. Double click on that title and change the title. I'm going to see if we can get Office 365 working for Two Shanes. Let's see, where is my page I can work with? That page will work. Let's bring me an Office 365 login. Logging in. Oh, I'm back. Okay, logging in. Okay. No, it's making me re-enter my password.
What's the title of the chart?
Monthly expenses. Okay, and let's see here. Here's my chart from before. I copy pasted from Excel. And let's see if we can, in Office 365, figure out how to do pie chart. I'll zoom in a little bit here so you can try to see what I'm doing. Okay, there's my data. Let's see, we may have to do it a different way. And it would be under Insert. There is a pie. Let's see, if I select, there's my titles. And if I control select, no, it doesn't let me control select. But let me do this. Let me copy, Control C, copy. Let me paste that here. And let's see if it'll let me do a pie chart when they are connected. Does it the wrong way. Let's try something else. Let's try copying those numbers. Copy and paste. And now let's see if it will do that. Maybe the titles have to be on the left side. Let's see if it will pie chart that. Look at that. It's annoying that I have to do it that way, but at least I can get my pie chart. Office 365. I don't know, unless there's another way to do non-connected selection. I'm going to try that one more time. Let's select that. Can I right click, add to selection? No. Looks like that's my only option, is copy the numbers to 2 columns next to each other and then make a pie chart out of that. Seems kind of
Okay, how do I get a title like you guys?
Oh, I'll go ahead and do that in Office 365 now. I have those numbers. I'm pie charting them. And let's see, if we right click, I can cut it and put it on a separate sheet. Let's do that. Cut, plus here to make a new sheet. Let's do a paste. I have it pasted into a different sheet. Now let's see if we can do titles. Let's try right click, format. And there's the legend.
Wait, where'd you get the extra sheet? How'd you do that?
I did a right-click format. I'm looking for it to give me a title. It looks like Office 365 only lets you adjust the legend. I don't see it letting us add a title to it. Let's see if there's any other way. Is there an insert title? Oh, I don't see. Double clicking takes me there. I don't see any insert a title, so let's see what else I could do. If I wanted a title, what else could I do? I could do a shape, and in the shape, does it let me do a text box? Trying to get creative here. I guess I could draw a little box and put a title in here and just start typing monthly. Oh, it doesn't let me put text in shapes on it, Office 365. Well, I'm getting upset with Office 365.
When I created the new sheet, I labeled it monthly expenses before putting the chart in, and that way it had the title.
So the title, does the title show on your chart or in the worksheet title?
It shows up on the top where yours says book-saved. It doesn't show up like above the chart itself.
All right. So let's see if I rename this. I can right-click rename, and let's call it monthly expenses. So the sheet can take the name, but my chart, so your chart actually shows the name over here. So Office 365, maybe just put a little note there, unable to do title. We're dealing with Office 365 as best we can, and you're getting some experience there, so it's helpful. So don't worry if you don't have the title. And let's see, why isn't Excel showing up? Oh, yeah, this is Excel. So in Excel, I can just come here and double click on the title and replace that with monthly expenses. And while I'm in there,
One more question. How did you get the chart to the second sheet again?
oh, I did a cut and paste. I did a cut, then click the plus to make a new sheet, and did a paste into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was showing here. I did a cut after selecting it, Control X, or edit cut, and then Control V to paste it. I think I could have done a right click cut. Yeah, you can do a right click cut and a right click paste into a new worksheet. Often people will put that chart below the data. And it depends on how you want to present it. Often you like it on a separate sheet. I don't find pie charts particularly useful. One thing that bugs me the most about pie charts is, and I'll go to Excel here, is this legend I find pretty useless. Can you tell those colors, what color matches what piece of the pie? I can't hardly tell. You have to look really close. They're super small. So I prefer a different legend. And let me show you how you can adjust the look of your pie chart. I can go over here under the Design tab, and hovering over different built-in formats of a pie chart, I look for one that actually shows me labels. And there's more than just that. That one gives me numbers. If I expand that, I have a few. Some give me the legend that I consider useless. Here's one that gives me the pies, but pieces of pie doesn't have the colors. This one gives me the labels without the numbers, but that's better than those unreadable legends. So I like this one the best. I'll let you pick from your format of the pie, but I think it's most useful to actually see the names of the slices rather than that legend that I consider completely unreadable. Here's
Style
one.
is really good. Yeah.
This one has both, so this would be good as well. If I right-click Format Chart Area, this extra little menu pops up where I can adjust a lot of things on my chart. The right-click Format, or I think this, will that show me? Oh, that shows me the elements. This lets me pick a different style as well. It's the same as though I went and browsed through that text box. So a lot of things you can do. Oh, I guess I have to close that, toggle that off and on. So this is pretty useful when you're just comparing the amount of numbers. And notice here when I hover over it, it actually shows me the amount. So if I'm in a meeting, people say, hey, what's that huge part of the pie? They can't read this, but you can hover over that and say that shows rent. Let's see if we can adjust the size. I think if I click on one, I can adjust the font size. Notice how when I click on one spelling here, all of them get selected. Let me go back to my Format tab, and let's see if I can increase my font size on that. Doesn't look like I can choose it here. Let me go to the Home tab and increase the font size. Yes. See how that lets me increase the font size of those labels. And I can also adjust the position of the labels by grabbing them, sliding them away one at a time, except it becomes unreadable outside in the white here. So I can undo that and maybe come down to something a little bit more readable. That's closer. But if I ever wanted to modify one, I click on it once, then click on it again, and now I'm in control of just that one. I can increase his font size because there's room for that. Some of this you just learn by trying things, and you can make adjustments to it, like miscellaneous. See how now I'm clicking on that, only that is affected. I can increase the font size there, adjust his position. I get in the right spot. Oh, I'm going to use my, click once, click again, arrow keys. Oh, arrow keys is not letting me adjust his position as well. The other one was easily movable there. Oh, no, that's moving my slice of pie. I'm going to leave it there. I'm tired of messing with it. So click once, selects them all. Another thing you can do, if you want to highlight a particular piece of the pie, I can click off of it over here, then click one slice of the pie once, click a slice of the pie once again, and now click and drag that slice away from the rest of the pie. If I wanted to maybe highlight that piece of the pie, Control Z. I can also click off of it, select my pie, and I think I can right click. There's a way to actually explode it. Maybe if I just drag it away. Oh, that pulls that one away. There's lots of slight adjustments you can do as you deal with this graphics. I'm going to just enlarge that. Let's try this. And Control Shift greater than. Also will enlarge my text. Control Shift greater than. Select. Control Shift greater than. And let's see if the arrow key works. No, the arrow keys do not let me adjust its position. Let me try to drag that up. Man, it's really hard to grab. Again, just in the right spot, and then it disappears. They don't make it easy to move. That one was easy to move. Not sure why this one isn't. Now that will move that whole thing. There, I can grab it a little easier. Anyway, I'm not going to be fussy on how you present this, as long as you have a pie chart up there. So remember how we created it. That's the important thing. I selected the numbers and the text to go with them. Then I did the insert pie chart. And it created it, and I moved it. I love 3D pie charts much more. All right, there's been some chatting going on. See if there's any questions. Okay, you're all good. Feel free to comment. I'm ignoring them unless it's a question. You are welcome to converse with one another. Make this online thing fun and exciting. All right, so we have our pie chart, and I think that's about all we want to do, except we want to label that little sheet of the other one. We've moved it, we've labeled it, and we're also going to mess around with the colors. This one, sheet 1, is not a good name. Let's call that budget. So I can right-click, rename, and let's see how it's highlighted now. I can call that budget. Budget, not budget, budget. And I'll call it, but I like budget estimate. That makes more sense. Budget estimate. The other sheet, what was that? I was just practicing with that. I'm just going to call that practice. I can just double click on the sheet, on the tab, and I'm going to call that practice. So there's my pie chart, budget estimate. These are the numbers, and there's just some practice. They do show us in the last thing they do is I can recolor my tab by right-clicking and tab color, and I can choose a color from my color selection. I think this is fairly useless. Who cares about the color of the tab? But they show you can. I find what's most important is the validity of the data and the putting the numbers in accounting format. All right, let's make sure as I go through the end of that chapter, they talk about printing. One thing you can do, remember, you can print to PDF. It used to be you couldn't do this, but if ever I wanted to print this, I can go to File, Print, and I can decide how it's going to appear when I want to print it out. I can choose active sheets, only a specific sheet, every sheet in my workbook. I can decide how it's going to be appearing on the page. Usually I find Excel spreadsheets work better with landscape orientation. And sometimes I can scale it to fit my sheet on one page. It gets a little harder to read, but I'm saving trees, fitting it to one sheet. And I don't even have to print it to hard copy. I can print it to a PDF. We have Microsoft Print to PDF. And then I can see what it would look like. And when I do click print, print to PDF will ask me what file do I want to save it as. I'm not going to have you do that, but when you're using Excel spreadsheets, you want to share them with someone. They may not have Excel on their PC. They may just want to see the data without it loading taking long to load that application. Sending it as a PDF is a more standard format. All right, so we are done with Excel 1 at this point. We have a table of data, and we have a pie chart. And so I'm going to do Control-S save, and that can be closed, and you can then upload that to Schoology over here underneath Excel 2019, Excel Project 1. So there you have it. You're ready to upload that. Ready to go on now to the next project where we're doing more work with formulas. I'll give you time to have any questions or time to upload that project.
Do we need to save a PDF of the pie chart as well and submit that?
No, you don't need to send me any PDFs. Oh, and let's see how that would work with Office Online. If you're using Office Online, what I want you to do then is once you have it done in Office Online, you can do a File, Save As, download a copy. And let's make sure that it downloads it as, yes, it downloads it as Excel, Microsoft Excel worksheet. Give it a name with your last name in there. Call it your last name, EX1. So then you can upload that to me or to Schoology. I know you could share it and give me the link, but, and I'm going to call this the online version. And it wouldn't hurt to put in your comments of your upload. If you do the Office 365, put that in your comments so I'll know if anything was weird, we can blame Office 365 on it. But you're going to now be an Office 365, or actually an online Office expert by using the online, getting feedback as we go to find out, is it possible to do this course and learn enough about Excel just using the online? It's annoying that we have those differences here and there, but that's something that you're going to need to know. You're going to run into somebody, your boss may say, hey, I want to do it all online. You can say, no, in class I learned there's some things that don't quite work. And you can always give them some advice about that. So Office Online. Go ahead.
When I save it, I download the copy or whatnot, but it's only the first sheet.
Oh, really? Another thing I've just learned. So let me try it. So I have a sheet 2 and a sheet 1. File, save as, download a copy. Doesn't give me. Let me open what this. It's not even. I thought it would give me a dialogue. Let me try that again. Save as, download a copy. It's not giving. It's not asking me where to put it now, unless I'm missing a dialogue that's open. That's irritating. Not so happy with this Office Online. It says it's saved. Let's try this one more time. File. Say I should be able to choose a new name. This isn't making sense that it's save as. Let's try the save as. Save a copy online. Save to another folder. It won't let me save as to my document. I'll call this EX1 testing. Saving. Now it's online. And there is the new file. Let's do a file save as again and download a copy. And notice I'm not seeing it getting saved. I think that's a bug in Office Online. It's not saving it. It's just showing that old one. I'm just going to open that old one that I did a save of, and let's see if it shows up. I am seeing my numbers. I thought, yeah, I'm seeing my numbers. I did save all 3 sheets. Copy. And that's the online one that I saved. Well, send what you can, and we'll see if we can deal with why it wouldn't save all 3 sheets, because it did all 3 sheets for me. All right, ready to roll on Excel Project 2? Closing Excel Project 1, or I'm just going to do File, New, and again, we're starting with a new blank workbook, getting practice at starting from scratch. There are a ton of templates out there. You're welcome to explore the templates. If you get comfortable with these templates, you can learn a ton of things just seeing how they did other things. But you might get confused too, because they do some fancy formulas. We're going to learn how to do the formulas, and so when you look at these, you'll be able to understand what they were doing. But let's start our own blank workbook again. And let's see what we're doing with this one. We're going to do, I believe it's a payroll chart. Project 2, here we go. What we're going to learn in this one is some of the extra function builders. We've learned already the sum function. We're going to learn about others called max and min and average. Use a thing called a range finder. Doing some more formatting of cells. So a little bit at a time here. What you're going to produce eventually is something that looks like this. We have a chart here with employees listed, their emails, how many children they have for tax reporting. We're going to be doing some functions, max and min and average of how many children they have. Here's, based on each worker, how many hours they've worked, their pay rate. We're going to be entering this information here, but letting Excel do all the work for the rest of it. We're only entering a small portion of these numbers, getting a little fancier with formulas. That's where the power of Excel is. Let's go ahead and do that. And I'll occasionally, if I hear the beep, I'll check the chats. You're welcome to speak up. Oh, Zach has got some difficult questions. See if you can answer Zach's question. All right. We're going to start building our sheet. It's Claypore, I'm not sure how to pronounce this, Claypore Engineering. And we're starting just like the other one, starting with cell A1, putting some information in here. We'll later format it. Claypore Engineering. And this is a salary report. We're going to be merging and centering, but before that, we will enter the information about our employees. All right, B3, this is going to be the column headings. We'll be coming back and do row headings here, but column headings are starting here. Email address. Next one, dependents. How many children? Hours. And because we want to make sure this goes on the next line, I'm going to type Alt-Enter. Hold the Alt key down and hit Enter. This forces a new line in that cell. And then I hit Tab. And notice how it automatically enlarges my row so that fits. We're going to find another way we can do that, but it's good to know Alt-Enter doesn't take you to a new cell. It makes a new line inside of that cell. I've used that regularly with worksheets. It's nice to know that. Doing that same thing here, hourly, and Alt-Enter a rate. And Tab takes me to the next one. Gross pay, federal tax. And look at that, federal tax is automatically wrapping for me when I type it, but then when I leave it, it doesn't wrap it. There is a way to let Excel wrap it when it can fit. We'll find that out. But we'll just enter the information for now and come back to that. State tax, tax and the percent symbol, net pay, and hire date. I'll zoom out a little bit so you can see everything. If I ever need to adjust a column, I can just grab the border of it and drag it left and right. Now, if I don't want to have to enter a new line and let Excel figure it out, watch what I can do. I can select the cells that I want to let Excel handle the wrapping. And I can come up to here and click wrap text. I can wrap the text by clicking here. And look at that. Excel does wrapping for you, except it breaks up that word in a strange way. But it is wrapping automatically. Watch this. As I can shrink that cell, it wraps that text for me. I prefer that over forcing a manual line feed in the actual line. Let's see if I can turn. Can I turn on the show formatting marks? No, that changes my text direction. It doesn't show formatting marks like you see in Word when you want. All right, now it's time for our row headings. And our row headings are, where are our row headings? I guess we're starting with, did I miss one? I think we're missing, oh, there we go. I forgot to title that one employee. There we go. It looks like we don't have row headings. We just start right away with the names of our employees. I'm giving us room here because we're going to be seeing some longer email addresses. Okay, so we're starting here. And they do give us a table on, what page is that? Page EX2-6. I'll enter the data here, starting with the employee. Let's see, I think we're doing last name, first name. Let's see how they want us to format that. Yeah, we're starting with last name, first name. If I were doing this, I would be having a separate column for first name and last name, but they're not doing that here, so we'll go with it. Altor, comma, Benny. And the email, we'll figure out the email. I'll enter the names first, and then we'll do the email part, because we're going to let Excel do some work for us there. All right, so it's Fox, Linda the Fox, Handfield, Germain, Miami, Ben. Oh, we got some German blood here. Nacht, Joel, Savannah. Pitfield. Mr. Spalding. Or Jill Spalding, Miss Spalding. Tillman. And we've got an Olga. I'll zoom out so you can see all of them as we get ready to enter their email address. And we're going to do something fancy here with the email. We're going to do a thing called flash fill, where Excel is going to figure out the rest of the emails after I enter a couple of them. I don't use this very often, but in this case, it comes in handy. So I'm going to enter here, Baltor, baltor at example.com. Great name for a company. Find it everywhere in tutorials. I have one email. I need to type one more so Excel knows this is a pattern I want to use for the rest of them. lfox at the same company. After doing this twice, Excel now knows that it can probably figure out what emails to put for the rest of them. But notice I had to enter two of them first. Now I'm going to let Excel do some work for me. Let's try this. I have entered two. Now I have this one selected. Some reason mail showed up. Oh, it wants to send an email to that one. And now I'm going to, let's see, do I have to select that? Let's try this. Now that one's, I'm not sure if I have to be in this one or have this one selected. It's not clear. It looks like I'm selecting this one. Let's find out. Data. Where's my flash fill? Right here. Data flash fill. And look at that. It flash filled everything else for me. Do that again. It's kind of like the fill handle. Let's see if it works for the fill handle. Maybe I don't need flash fill. Nope, fill handle doesn't work. Flash fill though, right, where did it go? Right there, flash fill. Isn't that crazy? It figured out the rest of the emails based on the pattern it saw in the first two. Now, I could not tell if I come back here. I can't tell if you typed that or if you did the flash fill. And because
mine even did the salary report email and the Calipor engineering one. Like it filled in the email for those two. Yep,
yeah,
there.
Yeah. Now, we don't want to do it for those, but it threw them in just to help us. I didn't expect it to skip over this. So I can come back over there and delete those later on. But we see it actually, the flash fill flashed all over the place, gave me some extra ones. Now, the question is, does that work in Office? Are you using Office Online there, Shane?
Yeah, it works.
Okay. Oh, good to know. Put that off the list. Now, there's some more data we haven't quite filled in yet. So let's go ahead and add the extra data for these employees. And we have the column D is hours worked and also dependents. So we'll start here. We'll enter the numbers here. And I'm just going to go, let's see, if I hit enter, we'll go down or across. Down takes me, or enter takes me down. So I'll enter dependents. 1, 0, 2, 1, 0, 3, 2, 1. And I'll give some hours worked. And when you're entering lots of numbers, it might be good to get good practice on your key pad over on the right. $80. And the enter key there is handy. 71.75. So poor Savannah is the lowest paid one in this company. No, that's the hours worked. She's worked the fewest this week. Now we'll find out who gets paid the least. 35.25. Not sure how they're determining the pay rates. There's our lowest. It's Ben that gets paid the least per hour. All right, I'm going to arrow over to the right a little bit. Without losing these, I'm going to freeze these rows. Don't worry about needing to know how to do this. I'm just going to freeze these so I can go to the far rows without you losing the view of these. Oops, split at the wrong place.
Mr. Manning,
Yes.
for the 25.9 one, for the 25.9,
Yeah.
my computer's going weird like European mode. And so I put 25.September. And up top it says 25.09.2020.
Ah, well, here's what you can do. Just click on the gray in the column.
Yeah.
And up there under home, select comma format because it's thinking it's a date. select comma style, it'll automatically know to not treat it as a date anymore.
Okay. Yep.
We're going to learn about that later, but just to help you out there. For some reason, it decided it thought it was a date because you got this crazy European thing going. Now, hire date, see how I don't worry about doing this. I just split this so you could see the hire date and not have to lose the view of these. We're also entering hire date. Everything else in between, we're going to let Excel figure out those. So here we go. And then I'm going to be done. I just took a look at the clock here. Let's do this, and then I'll stop the recording just so we can get this far on project 2. So 9/5/2010. Enter. 10/17/2012. 2/2/2013. 1/15/2016.
Mr. Manning, can you scroll down?
Yeah, coming down here too. That one, is that far enough for you?
Yeah.
And this is our last date, and we're going to end here. I will leave this up, but I'm going to stop the recording right now. But I'm not going to leave the meeting.